All right, guys. Good morning back. Welcome back to the podcast. I can't even speak clearly. 9:30 a.m. Saturday. Um, I've been recording since like 8 a.m. I woke up too early. um, so, I'm caffeinated though, and I had a little food. Dude, I got myself real hyper this morning. I had some yerba mate and like, those small containers of raspberries? I had like the majority of it, like in a Cliff Bar. And I think, that's gonna be my fuel. I didn't have that much yerba mate, or maybe I did. I feel like, I don't know, that stuff is strong though, so it doesn't take that much, but I'm pretty wired. And I think when I had the Rona, I remember eating a lot of raspberries too. I feel like they give me a lot of energy. I don't know why, but I feel like really pumped up right now. So it's kind of weird. But I did have, my good days of rest, and today I'm kind of easing into my morning. There was some stuff I needed to do. I don't even honestly remember what I said I was going to do yesterday. But I know what I'm doing today. So yesterday I did do some writing. I did go to the beach, got some exercise walking around the pier, and took some photos. The photos are kind of a project, part of what I'm writing. So I'm writing a lot, it's kind of hard to tell if it's like fully fiction. There's a lot of reality to it, but it's not like exact real people, exact real events. It's just like the type of stuff that would happen in the day-to-day of what would be something like my life or people I know, their lives. Like what it would be like what a scenario would be like. Like, I'm not writing about this at all, but like, say for example, I have some good friends that work in mental health, and it's kind of like I was in that field until pretty recently, and so I notice I know what it's like to kind of be in that field and work in that field, and I could easily write about being a therapist, or that kind of thing. I could easily write about from that perspective of like a character, and there would be a lot of realistic things to it, of like a day-to-day type of scenario that wouldn't necessarily be something that actually happened, like actually at work for me or something, but something along those lines, where it's like I'm kind of writing about stuff that I'm very familiar with. So it's kind of a really interesting way of writing. It's like fiction from a very familiar, culture, environment. Like I'm not like challenging like anything, I'm not like, oh, let me see what it would be like to write as, a different race, a different gender, a different time period, a different everything. It's like, no, I'm just writing from my own perspectives. And, just in general lately, I'm trying to, with my new mind, pretty refocused, I'm trying to have a better understanding about some of my experiences. I'm trying to kind of have like a better grip on, how I'm managing myself and getting out of some of these unhealthy habits of, not doing what I need for myself when I need to, and like delaying that to a point where I'm already too exhausted. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not pushing myself. I'm not saying that I'm just giving into any, like, oh, this is uncomfortable, so I'm gonna lay down and like sleep all day. Like, I'm not doing that, but I'm like, I'll sit with it and I'll challenge it and be like, why do I feel tired right now? Like, let me take like an hour or 2 hours of a break and figure out why I'm feeling this way versus, not do anything and just turn on some Netflix or whatever. And sometimes I do that. Sometimes I don't do anything and I'm just like, turn on Netflix or whatever, drown it out, forget about it. Dude, it's cloudy. What the heck? It was sunny and now it's like super cloudy. Dang, that's weird. I gotta check the weather. I was just at the beach, but it was cold last night. Yeah, it says it's gonna be windy from 2 to 4. Dang, sunset's 5:34 p.m. Next Monday, not this coming Monday, but the next one's gonna be really windy. Wow, the lows are still gonna be in the 40s, and highs we're getting high 50s and into the 60s next week. But we did have a hot past few days. Ooh, we got some beach hazard in San Diego. Beach hazards until 3 p.m. So yeah, the weather, West Coast is a little, Southern California, West Coast is a little windy, and the beach in San Diego, there's a little bit of hazard going on there somehow. The mountains are having some high winds. This is your new weather channel, guys. Yeah, so dress accordingly. I don't know. I'm just in a weird mood. So yeah, I'm kind of learning more and practicing more on how to deal with things versus just like having them come up and be like deer in the headlights, like, oh, like I don't know what to do. So I'm trying to, get better at like noticing. And so I can give an example. So after that whole weird mood situation I had not that long ago in the mountains, I, came back feeling better. I know last weekend, Sunday morning, I started out my week in a bit of a struggle. I think I found out that I can't really be eating beef. I think that's what it is. Because last weekend I ate bibimbap that didn't have that much beef. It had a little bitty section of beef, but it was beef. And then that same day, I had a little bit of the traditional soon tofu soup that had beef in it. I had like a little bit of it. And then the next day for dinner, I finished off that soup and it was beef. And then the next day is early the next morning on Sunday morning is when I started feeling badly. And then last night I had some Brazilian food and I got the steak and I only ate half of it. It had some beans, rice, fries, pico, and it was really good, but I only ate half of it. I'm trying to not overeat, and so half of it was a lot because it was basically like a whole tray of fries and then like half a steak and beans, so I'm like, that was plenty of food considering that I ate a big lunch. That was plenty of food, I feel. But I didn't feel like hungry. But yeah, this morning at about 5:30 a.m., my stomach was a little weird. I still had the leftover Pepto, so I guess that helped me out. And then I just started my morning because I was like, okay, well, I guess we're here, we're up. So by the time 6 o'clock rolled in, I was already up. But, that's not really the example. I was just trying to like lay out, I haven't been feeling super well all the time. But in the midst of this, I had a bit of a setback with one of my stores. Not really a setback, but I'm in a testing phase right now, and I realize that the quality of the products is not going to meet kind of my standards. And I'm kind of in an area that I'm not familiar with, so I'm kind of switching over to products that I do know, products that I do use, products that I can review and write intelligently about and talk about and review properly. And it took a while for me to get to even that phase, of knowing what I'm going to do. It's just now a matter of doing it, and I'm planning on spending this weekend doing that, as well as writing. I mean, writing is going to be something I'm going to be doing pretty routinely now, too. And, I just wasn't too, I don't know. I feel like I'm I'm having a little bit of a hard time with just like taking those actionable steps. There's definitely like hesitation coming from some spaces of fear, and just kind of like, I don't like when things don't work out smoothly. These testing processes for me can be a little bit frustrating, because I like things to work and I want it to work now. I can be a little bit impatient, and so, especially when I'm like, well, I know this is a good idea and I know that I'm doing good quality work, and why isn't it panning out in a financial way? Sometimes it's like, but I am kind of getting back in the game of it all. I've been away for like years from this kind of stuff, and I'm jumping out back in the middle of a I don't know if we're in a recession with inflation after and during the tail end of a pandemic. It's like, I'm learning, and I'm learning from a place of way more knowledge than what I initially had, way more experience than what I initially had, but also having to still learn because I haven't been in this space for years now. So at least for 4 years, I think I tried to jump back in during the Rona a little bit, and I was like, screw this, no way. And I no longer want to I don't know, like, yeah, I kind of lost track of what I was saying. I started checking an email from my sister, or a text from my sister. Anyways, yeah, like with the, making movements, taking steps, that creates a lot of like that whole deer in the headlights reaction from me, where it's like, I don't want to make the move, but I'm just going to keep making the moves. I'm going to pick certain times of day to just be like, all right, push, next phase, like just get over it. I mean, nobody else is going to push me but myself. I watched a video last night that I found really helpful. It was Graham Stephan talking to the lady on Shark Tank, whose name I don't think I ever knew. I never learned her name. Let me see. So he was talking to her. She was kind of answering his questions. It doesn't say her name in the thumbnail. She was answering his questions about business and all that kind of stuff. And she yeah, so I'm sorry, people keep texting me. Yeah, I'm, easing into my morning, but I've already done a lot of this background kind of planning. Usually I don't work at all on Saturdays. Usually it's a lazy day. But I did have, Wednesday and Thursday very lazy days. And it felt good to be back into the swing of things yesterday. So I feel like because I've got motivation behind it today, I'd rather put in some work. Even though traditionally Saturday tends to be a day that I just do not touch work-related things. At one point, I think there was a taboo behind it from religious things, and now it's just kind of literally it's a part of my lifestyle. But so that's kind of a weird hang up that I'm dealing with this morning, where I'm like, well, I don't really do things this way ever, hardly ever, like, it's not like I'm hurting for money or anything right now, where it's like I'm in dire need of like paying somebody, or like somebody's relying on me. Like, I can chill an extra day. That's not really gonna do anything. I don't know if it's gonna like screw with my headspace like mentally at all, to kind of throw myself off of a routine and actually get work done on a Saturday when I pretty much never do. That means studying everything. Like, the most I'll do is podcasting. I'll maybe watch some videos and reviews and stuff, but I don't make reviews. I don't review products. I'm not, usually fixing things. I've got a whole laptop motherboard staring me in the eyes across my room right now. I had to order, did I talk about this? I feel like all this happened after I recorded yesterday and posted. I ended up having to order some silver solder and flux and one of those braids, because I have to solder back on a piece of my motherboard, basically. This is the last crack I'm taking at it, and then I might just buy, if I don't want to say it. I might buy another computer. I don't want to say it. But I thought about it last night, and I was like, I can afford this. Like, why don't I just go to the dang store and just buy a freaking thing? Like, I can afford it, I can afford even a used one if I don't want to get something brand new, but I don't know. I like shiny new toys. Like, I don't want it to be a problem. It would be a distraction. Let me be real. If I got a new laptop, it would be a distraction because I want it for gaming. And so for me to have to go out of my way to basically rebuild parts of this old laptop and then put the whole dang thing back together, I have to reinstall Windows and do this whole song and dance. That is going to slow my roll a bit. I think I'll look at it from a different angle versus going and buying the newest, latest, greatest shiny toy at Best Buy that I really am tempted to just drive down the street and just go and buy a thing, but I shouldn't do that. because I have a perfectly decent gaming laptop in pieces, kind of strewn across my bedroom. But I'm gonna take another stab at it. I don't need to spend my weekend gaming. I don't. I want to. I tried to get a game last night. I don't know if I want to say which one it is. But I tried to get a game and I don't have the space to run it. It was Forza. It was Forza Horizons 5. I want it. I'm I'm reviewing some gaming products right now, so you know, I would love to have footage of, oh my gosh. I'm like in a dream. I'm in a dream state right now where I'm like, I can foresee having this computer, like all the possibilities, but I don't need that distraction right now. I would love that distraction right now. I don't need it. I already said I'm going to spend this weekend working on this website. And another part of me is like, no, I want to spend my weekend building this computer and having enough space to get this game so I can play it for the rest of the weekend and do nothing productive, but that. I mean, it would be part of a review that would lead to monetary value, but I don't think that I can't justify that. I think I don't need that good of footage. I can still use my little netbook type laptop. It doesn't do anything that good, but it's good for word processing. It's not too good for video and photo editing, but I don't really own software to be able to do that too good. Anyways, it can't hardly play any games because it doesn't have hardly any space. It's not fast. The graphics card cannot handle much. It overheats easily. And I like the small size of it, but it's so far from the section of the house where we get good Wi-Fi. I'm not saying that our house is like gigantic. It's just there are multiple walls between myself and where everything is connected in the living room. And in order for me to get the fastest Wi-Fi, I need to be closer to that area. And that's in the distraction zone for me because, I got a TV in there. My mom's usually in there. If she's not in there, she's in and out of there because she's outside gardening and going in and out of the house. Or she's on the phone every couple hours or every hour or so with a couple family members here and there. They call each other often throughout the week, so, I could overhear her in her room or she's walking around. Or she'll come out and start talking to me. And so it's just like all this stuff where I'm just like, okay, like I can't really work in there. I feel like I'm an easily overstimulated person. So in a way, staying in my room helps. Like, in a lot of ways, it really does help me to just focus and just sit in one spot without a lot of stuff going on and just sit and focus and do work. I've been using the same room for years of my life. This room is where I learned and practiced and did so much stuff to where it got me to where I am pretty much now with things. And so I don't know. I don't want to be like I'm not trying to take a negative approach to this, and I'm not trying to make it some drawn on thing when it's really not a big deal. I don't really have any big deals going on today. I've got mainly like creative ideas, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to get to. I think I can get there, but I need a little I don't know. It's just a lot I'm trying to work on doing. But yeah, the others are now awake in the house, so I might end this recording soon, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting into today, is, having a more intentional day, similar to yesterday. I got out of the house for like 2 hours yesterday, to get over to the beach, and went in the water a little bit. It was freaking freezing cold. The water itself wasn't that cold. It was just the air, the wind. And then it got like really windy and cold. It got down to like 40 something, 50 something degrees last night, and it was windy. And then I got that Brazilian food, and then I haven't been feeling 100%. So I don't want to blame the Brazilian food. I just want to blame the beef. I think it's the beef, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know. I didn't sleep that well, but I'm highly caffeinated and energetic. So I'm thinking I should just like plow through this morning, and then when I get to a point where I just can't anymore, then I'll just stop. So that looks like what I'm going to be doing. Otherwise, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty exhausted, to be honest. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be the best state of mind for me to actually get work done in, but I can draft up some stuff for sure. So, yeah. I'm going to save the computer stuff for later, because that's kind of more fun and not immediate needs. It's immediate wants. It's not immediate needs. I've just got some footage to record and some reviewing to do, and I think that should be good for this morning. With that, it's pretty much what I'm doing. I mean, I'll get exercise later on. I don't know yet if I'm going to go outside or to the gym or what. I'll see how I feel. And then, yeah, I'm going to get some other stuff done, but later on today. And just kind of chat with friends online and stuff too. I kind of rather do that this morning, honestly. And I haven't really fleshed out exactly what I'm doing today. It'll come to me, but it's within those categories. So the goal is to kind of get to a point where I have like an actual strategy to work with, where I can implement that strategy on a regular basis. I mean, I think I've got myself to where I overall have a decent routine. I could exercise better, but I'm definitely watching what I'm eating and doing way better with that. And yeah, I'm getting a lot done, but I did spend like a good portion of this week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, resting a lot. So, and Monday I didn't really get any work done, hardly, maybe 30 minutes worth, because I was out all day. So I really had like just Tuesday and Friday where I did a lot, and so it's really not a lot of work. And it's fine, it was kind of needed, but I did expect to do more. But I think also hitting the road bumps that I hit during this week, and well, technically last week, but dealing with the road bumps this week, like the aftermath of it, kind of helps me realize the next phase and the next steps of what I'm doing. But because I think if I wouldn't have taken time, I would have just jumped back into the categories that I don't really know too well. So I think taking it back to the old school, to the stuff I know, sticking in those spaces and just expanding on that, not trying to do anything too new, but sticking with what I know, and just kind of learning the updated information I need to know in those areas instead of just working only with this whole new realm of products that I don't really know at all. It's like, I think that is a setback for me actually, because there's too much learning and I don't care about it. Like, it's not something that interests me, if that makes sense. It's about as interesting to me as selling like belts or something like that. Like, if the money is the motivator, it's not motivating me enough to actually put the work in, because I don't really care about the products and I don't really care about the niche that I was kind of dabbling in. And I can easily just switch that up into something that I already like and know. And I know there's a market for it. I know the market for it. I am the market for it. And so I might just go with that instead for a while and see what happens. But that might be it for my morning. That might be it for now. But thanks for listening.